Hey guys, it's Broheen here with another 50 Warrior video for you. We're going to take a look at my Paragon DPS spec today. It's actually really easy rotation, so there's only a few things you have to do. There's one macro for your builder, one macro for your finisher, a macro for your charges, and then pretty much you only need two other things to really do DPS as far as abilities, which is Setting Moon and Flurry. And we'll go through the buffs, we'll go through the macros, we'll go through the soul tree, and then I'll give you a little rundown on how the rotation goes. So, getting right into that. 51 Paragon, 13 Champion, 2 Tempest. This is just how I'm running it now. I know I'm probably going to get some crappy feedback because I'm running Champion with it. I think I could be wrong, but I think that I can find something better to run with this spec than Champion, but I've just been so consumed in, playing some other games like Warframe right now that I haven't really given Rift a whole lot of time in the last few weeks. But I finally hit 50. It took me forever because I can only play every so often nowadays. But finally hit the 50. I already got the Warlord video out for PvP, and then we'll show you Paragon today, which sometimes I'll also use in PvP. So we'll get right into that with Paragon being 51, Teaching of the 5 Rings, 5 of 5, 5 in Combat Precision, 5 in Weapon Familiarity, 3 in Double Jeopardy, 3 in Grace of the 5 Rings, 3 in Flowing Strikes, 3 in 1-2 Punch, 1 in Fleet of Foot, 3 in Deadly Parity, 1 in Shield of Will, 2 in Improved Flowing Strikes, 1 in Tranquility, 2 in Weapon Master, 1 in Shifting Blades. This one, however, use whether you want it to or not. After running this spec, like I said, I just haven't respec'd, but it doesn't really. I'd never use it, honestly. I never use it. It's a complete DPS loss in my opinion, but it's up to you whether you want to use it or not. Again, this is just a 50 build, and it's nearly pre-made, so I wouldn't read too much into it. You can use something else if you like. Anyways, 3 in Force of Will, 1 in Death Touch, 2 in Swift Finesse, 1 in Grasping the Horizon, 2 in Analyze Weakness, 2 in Precise Strikes, 1 in Duality, 1 in Unleashed. For the Champion tree, 5 in Take No Prisoners, 4 in Titan Strength, 4 in Deadly Strikes, and for the Tempest tree, 2 in Amped. The reason for Tempest is just because you can get Shock Pulse and Skyfall, plus an extra buff. So that way you're not screwed if you are trying to, attack somebody from a distance. You still have something to fight with. So let's take a look at the macros. Whoops. It's not the first time I've ever done that. Paragon Builder. Show Grasping the Horizon. Suppress macro failures. Cast Final Blessing. Cast Rising Waterfall. Cast Death Touch. Cast Tranquility. Cast Swift Strike. Cast Grasping the Horizon. Cast Shield of Will. Cast Shock Pulse. Your finisher is going to be Show Reaping Harvest, Suppress Macro Failures, Cast Reaping Harvest, and Cast Skyfall. And then I just put Thread the Trees and Bull Rush in here for the charge. Again, not necessary for this, but I like it because why use 2 separate buttons for them? Just put them in one, and be done with it. So now, looking at some abilities, Paragon's all about follow-up attacks. So as far as those go, you always want to start off with a charge into the enemy, then hit him with a Setting Moon. Setting Moon increases the damage of your follow-up attacks for 20 seconds, and then you go into your builder, which the builder is designed to use one attack, then a follow-up attack, then a regular, then a follow-up, another regular, and another follow-up. So it's always going to default to that, along with things like Shield of Will will absorb. I have that set into automatically absorb damage because I use the spec in PvP. So typically it's on a 30-second cooldown, so every 30 seconds, if I die and have to run back, it's right there with the shield on my first attack. Grasping the Horizon is also a non-global cooldown. We watch that because it increases the range of everything, including Swift Strike, Setting Moon, Reaping Harvest, and all follow-up attacks. So you want that on immediately, and you want it to cast on no global cooldown every time that it's up. So, let's see what else is there. Reaping Harvest is going to be your main finisher, along with Skyfall in there, like you saw. Your buffs that I use, Turn the Blade, keep that on, increases all your attacks and speeds and stuff like that, but it reduces damage and healing done. But it is a DPS increase because of the follow-up attacks. Gets them out faster. So more damage for more attacks for a little less damage equals more DPS in this case. Enhanced conductivity, focus of the body, soldier's bearing, and then as far as way buffs go, because you have duality in your soldier, you can use two. We use Way of the Wind and Way of the River. So if you think you need extra healing, you can sacrifice a little DPS and heal 20% of attack power on follow-up attacks, but I usually don't use that. There is a utility or a debuff. You hit this guy, Mark of Inevitability, and up to 10 enemies lose 340 armor at this level for 60 seconds. So, and it hits everybody, pretty much everybody. So, on the bar I have the Builder, Finisher, Charges, Setting Moon, Flurry. I have Predictable Movements, which is a control. It'll stun them. I have Sweeping Blades, which if, let's say you're in Black Garden and everybody's trying to get the Fang, you can hit this. It'll reduce the damage of all your attacks, but it'll hit up to 4 additional enemies, so therefore preventing them from picking up the Fang. And then Fleet of Foot we keep here. So going into rotation-wise, we're going to buff up quickly here. Whoops, that was a fuck up. Alright, so I'm not going to use my mark. Actually, I don't know if practice dummies have armor, but yeah, we're going to hit in there. We're going to charge, Setting Moon. See my Karul alert here. So, and then pretty much you gain combo points really fast. So just keep alternating every time you're at 3 combo points. Hit your finisher. Doing extra charges in this spec doesn't really help a whole lot because there's hardly any abilities not on global cooldown that proc when you charge or pull or whatever you're doing in whichever spec you decide to build. So, but I'm doing it's higher DPS than Warlord, but there's less survivability. So this is really only in my opinion, unless you need like a great amount of direct damage in PvP, this is really only a good spec for PvE, like dungeons when you're going against single target boss. So I wouldn't use it in PvP as much. I used to, and I used to dominate with it, but it's not really feasible anymore at this level. Everybody's so powerful now, and I find that I end up dying more because there's not as much survivability. So, but yeah, with that being said, over a minute 27 seconds here, doing just shy of 2,000 DPS on a 50 practice dummy. So, which I am level 50 still. So, once you go through your rotation, honestly, it doesn't really matter when. Usually after I charge in, and, we'll stop here. But usually after I charge in, I'll get up to 3 marks, hit the finisher, then I'll hit Flurry. Let that run out, hit a finisher, make sure you keep Setting Moon up, and then continue DPSing. You can see some of the hits here. I mean, I'm using PvP weapons right now, so like the damage is a little bit increased, I guess. I don't know by how much, I wasn't keeping track, but yeah, I mean, every time Flurry is not on cooldown, Flurry's got some good range too. It's got a 20-meter range. So if you're chasing somebody and you're within 20 meters, just hit your Flurry and it does really good damage. Over a few seconds. It's over 3 seconds, it does like 5,000 damage. So it's a good thing to have on all the time whenever it's not on cooldown. And it's just consistently right now at 891s. Well, that crits, it's even more. So, But hopefully you guys like this spec. It's very fun. It's very fast. Does a lot of damage. It's very simple too. So give the spec a whirl. If you have any questions, let me know. Unfortunately, I'm in the midst of doing about 4 or 5 videos at the same time tonight, this being the first one. So for this case, again, until level 60, I'm going to hold off on putting the macros in the description for the video. You guys can pause the video and write them down, or you know, see if you know, if you got 2 screens like I do now, you know, have it up on one, and then, you know, just type it in. Or if you can follow up fast enough, you can, you know, type them in as I'm saying them with the video playing in the background. So but yeah, you guys enjoy this spec. If you have any questions, you know, throw me a comment, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. During the next week, sometime next week, you guys should pay attention. We are having the 1000 plaque giveaway, so I'll keep you updated on that. Like I said, I want to get my level 50 videos out first, and then do the plaque giveaway, so that way I can at least move on with this character. So, alright guys, well, like I said, like, subscribe, and enjoy the spec. Thanks for watching.